Vatican City in Rome. Center of the world for 1.2 billion Catholics across the planet. Home to God's voice on earth, the Pope. This is a city-state famous for its mysteries and secrets. High-ranking officials rarely give interviews.
Io racconto tutto questo a lei. Lei decida di tutto questo che elementi sono adeguati.
Now, for the first time ever, the Pope has allowed Discovery cameras exclusive access inside this medieval fortress as the Vatican prepares for one of the biggest events in its history.
Questo dobbiamo chiedere, come abbiamo già fatto, l'aiuto dello Spirito Santo.
In just 48 hours, 2 new saints will be created, using one of the Church's oldest rites in a ceremony known as a canonization.
In nomine Patris.
Invited are living miracles snatched from the jaws of certain death by divine intervention.
A miracle is something science cannot explain.
Tutti il Santo Padre in movimento.
This is the story of what happens behind the scenes.
Questo è un momento di fiato sospeso per tutta la cristianità e anche per noi.
Today, Popes John XXIII and John Paul II will become saints, superheroes of the Catholic Church, acknowledged for their virtuous lives and unexplainable miracles. A million pilgrims from across the world are crammed into St. Peter's Square and the surrounding streets. International heads of state are in attendance. Security is tight. Around the world, more than 1 billion people are watching as events unfold in Vatican City. "2,000 years earlier, the founder of the Catholic Church, St. Peter, was crucified upside down on a hill outside Rome. The church that was built in his honor grew to become Vatican City State, the smallest country in the world. This tiny walled and independent nation could fit into New York's Central Park 8 times over. It is self-sufficient with its own state police force, known as the Gendarmeria, its own postal service and central bank, whose ATM machines use the official language of the church, Latin. This city has only 572 citizens, but bizarrely, it has the highest crime rate in the world because it is a haven for pickpockets. It might be small, but for planet Earth's 1.2 billion Catholics, Vatican City is one of the most influential states in the world. In just 48 hours' time, it will host an event that will affirm a radical change in the direction of the Church. In an elaborate ceremony, 2 men will be made saints, Pope John XXIII and Pope John Paul II. 2 great reformers, popes who changed the Catholic Church. Guido Gusso was Pope John XXIII's valet and driver.
Mi dice, tutto a posto? Allora, dopo mangiato, mi dice, oggi pomeriggio facciamo una corsa fuori.
John XXIII was a man who was prepared to break the rules.
E poi ho aperto il cancello, ho messo la macchina fuori col Santo Padre dentro. La Guardia Svizzera, la polizia anche italiana, si sono arrabbiati perché il Papa è uscito senza scorta, senza nessuno. Voleva poter essere libero e più che evadere le persone, la gente, parlare con la gente. Voleva conoscere un po' le persone.
The 23rd Council affirmed the right of every individual to join the religion of their choice. These moves to modernize and liberalize drove a huge rift through the church between progressives and traditionalists that still exists to this day.
You cannot imagine the church of today without the Vatican II Council. That was a real revolution for the church. John XXIII had the courage to rethink the mission of the Catholic Church in the world.
The second saint to be Pope John Paul II took this revolution around the world. He traveled to 129 countries and was the first pope to visit the White House.
May God be praised.
Questa era la sua vita, pregando per tutti i paesi del mondo, preghiera geografica, conosceva a memoria tutti, poteva dire tutti i paesi uno dopo l'altro.
He reached out beyond the church into politics and international relations, meeting leaders of different faiths, opposing dictatorship, the death penalty, and organized crime. And in the process, he made a lot of enemies.
Without John XXIII, without John Paul II, you cannot understand Pope Francis.
The current pope could be the most radical yet. Pope Francis was elected on March 13th, 2013. He is the 266th pope.
Buonasera.
The first ever from Latin America. And like John XXIII and John Paul II before him, he is a reformer. From the moment he was elected, he smashed established customs, refusing to live in the opulent papal apartments and instituting a new board of the troubled Vatican Bank and a new system of government. Behind the scenes, he has ruffled feathers. And the canonization of these two reformers on the same day is a strong statement. Millions will see the modern face of this ancient church.
Vai, piano, piano, piano. Pochissimo alla vostra destra.
But to make new saints, Pope Francis must embrace one of the ancient mysteries of the Church, the Catholic belief that God's unexplainable power is channeled through a chosen few to work miracles. The canonization is the culmination of 7 years' work in the shadows for one camera-shy individual. He is the postulator of John Paul II. Postulators are the Vatican's miracle hunters, the men who gather evidence to prove the existence of saints.
Allora vi porto adesso all'ufficio della postulazione.
His name is Monsignor Slavomir Oder. Proving sainthood is a mysterious process. Firstly, the candidate has to be nominated by their local bishop. Next, a postulator investigates the candidate's holy, heroic virtues. And the process becomes much more mysterious.
È il compito del postulatore vigilare sulla apparizione di questo segno dato dalla divina provvidenza, che è un miracolo.
Monsignor Oder received thousands of letters from around the world, written by people who claim John Paul II had miraculously answered their prayers. His job is to find among these letters an unexplainable event that defies the laws of science.
Un miracolo è un'azione di Dio, intervento della grazia nella realtà umana che fa superare le leggi della scienza umana. La Chiesa ha riconosciuto e permette arrivare alla beatificazione.
From thousands of cases, one stood out. Only months before these pictures were taken, French nun Marie Simon-Pierre was unable to walk, confined to her bed with incurable Parkinson's disease. Praying desperately to John Paul II for help, but she inexplicably rose from her bed and walked again. Medical science had no way of explaining her full recovery. The Church certified it a miracle at the hands of John Paul II. And that led to his beatification. He had become a blessed, literally meaning revered, and one step away from sainthood.
Si richiede un miracolo per la beatificazione e poi si richiede per la canonizzazione, si richiede un altro miracolo.
A day to go before the canonization, and a superstar has arrived at the Vatican. The Catholic Church believes that Floribeth Mora Diaz is a living miracle and the key to John Paul II's sainthood.
A miracle is something that causes people to wonder. There might be healings, spiritual miracles or conversions, which science cannot explain.
On April 8th, 2011, Floribeth was taken into hospital with a severe headache. An MRI scan revealed an aneurysm in the right side of her brain. She was told she had 1 month to live.
Mi hija en ese momento estaba empezando su embarazo. Recuerdo a Gabriela, me decía, mami, tienes que luchar, quiero que conozcas a mi bebé. Y yo le decía que sí, ver el sufrimiento de mi hija, de mis hijos. Ellos llegaban y se mantenían en mi cama, me movían porque ellos no sabían si yo estaba dormida o estaba muerta.
Near death, Floribeth watched the beatification mass for John Paul II on television.
Y siempre pedía su intercesión. Yo le decía a Juan Pablo II, Juan Pablo II, tú que estás tan cerca de Dios, dile a Dios que yo no me quiero morir. Porque están mis hijos. Lo más importante para mí son mis hijos, mi familia. Esa es mi prioridad.
Then, Floribeth fell into a deep sleep.
Y a las 8 de la mañana de ese día fue un despertar diferente y escuché esa voz que me decía, levántate, y vuelve a repetirme, levántate.
Floribeth's health improved, and another MRI scan revealed the condition had disappeared. It is scientifically impossible for an aneurysm to heal itself. The Vatican invited Floribeth to Rome for more tests by a board of medics.
E nel caso di Floribeth c'è stata una totale scomparsa dell'aneurisma cerebrale che non si spiega scientificamente, perché non può accadere da un punto di vista scientifico.
There was no explanation for the healing.
Lì la scienza si ferma e dice non lo sappiamo, non sappiamo cosa è accaduto. La Chiesa lo sa e dice questo è stato un miracolo.
Il suo miracolo è stato decisivo per la canonizzazione di Giovanni Paolo II, perché è un miracolo cosiddetto di primo grado, in cui c'è addirittura una trasformazione organica inspiegabile.
This was proof for the Catholic Church that John Paul II was worthy of sainthood. Father Pavel Benedict is on his way to prepare a key element of the canonization in one of the most important and secret rooms in Vatican City.
Dove sono custodite le reliquie dei santi, cioè sono di solito piccoli pezzi di osso,
pieces of saints' bodies, fragments of skulls, ears, hands, and teeth collected over 2,000 years. This is a bone fragment from Saint Jeanne Jugend, a nun who dedicated her life to the poor and elderly. This is a small piece of the body of Saint John Gabriel Perboya, a French missionary executed by the Chinese in 1840. He was tortured, then strangled to death on a cross. And in this room are the relics of many Christian martyrs who suffered gruesome deaths for their faith. Their remains now revered as holy objects.
Le reliquie dei santi sono importantissime. La devozione così, le reliquie, no, è realtà. E me è una reliquia rende presente, icet nunc qui, rende presente la presenza di quella santo che è morto già magari 3 o 4 secoli fa.
These fragments are an important link between the world of the living and the world of the dead.
Di solito vengo e prego perché sono i santi qua che ci hanno preceduto nell'eternità e chiedo aiuto per me.
And among the teeth and bone is a tube full of blood.
Il sangue appartiene a Giovanni Paolo II. Non è stata aperta in quel momento, non ci sono altre reliquie cioè 4 giorni prima della morte. Noi poi abbiamo fatto fare questo reliquiario. Se questo sarà usato domenica per la canonizzazione.
Indubbiamente la reliquia del sangue per quanto riguarda Giovanni Paolo II è quella che parla di più, perché lui ha versato proprio il suo sangue.
On May 13th, 1981, John Paul II's blood was spilt in the very square in which he will be canonized.
In un certo momento spari.
Pope John Paul II had been shot twice by an unknown gunman. He fell into the arms of his private secretary.
Si è inquinato molto, perciò abbiamo deciso subito di andare all'ospedale.
As surgeons fought to save his life, he lost almost 3/4 of his own blood.
Pope John Paul II remains in surgery in a hospital in Rome. He's been in surgery now almost 3 hours.
Quasi non si sente il cuore, anche la pressione che è scesa. Così che è venuto il professor Buzanetti mi ha detto dai il sacramento degli infermi, della assoluzione.
The church was about to have its newest martyr. Pope John Paul II is shot while meeting the faithful in Vatican City. As he fights for his life in hospital, the shooter is immediately apprehended. The Vatican finds itself at the center of international intrigue. The following morning, as surgery ended, the world waited for news of John Paul II.
The news is that the Pope is having a very good recovery from 5.5 hours of surgery.
As he lay recovering, the Pope began to link his attack to one of the most mysterious prophecies in the history of the Catholic Church. 1917, a vision of the Virgin Mary appeared to 3 children in the Portuguese town of Fatima. She whispered 3 secret prophecies, which were written down, sealed in envelopes, and taken to the Vatican. The first secret was later revealed as a vision of hell. The second was instructions on how sinners could save themselves. The third remained in an envelope deep in the Vatican vaults. Pope John Paul II had been shot on May 13th, exactly 64 years after the Fatima vision.
In quel contesto il Papa ha chiesto che gli portassero la busta che era sigillata dal 1942.
He opened the envelope and read the third secret of Fatima.
E a un certo punto 2 spari lo colpirono. E sembrò che cadesse e fosse morto quell'uomo vestito di bianco. È chiaro che il Papa ci riconobbe la sua vicenda in quella visione di Fatima.
Ma nella mente del Papa stava chiaro, aveva una sicurezza morale, che lui doveva morire di quell'attentato e la Madonna le ha risparmiato la vita.
For many, this prophecy is further proof of the sainthood of John Paul II. Divine providence guiding his life.
Il Papa mi disse, dopo l'attentato, mi consigliarono di mettere un giubbotto antiproiettile sotto la veste bianca. Io non ho voluto, perché la mia vita è nelle mani di Dio. E sono pronto a spenderla, disse queste testuali parole, fino all'ultima goccia del mio sangue.
And with the canonization less than a day away, the attempted murder of Pope John Paul II has left another legacy. Fear. This is the man who has to keep the Pope and millions of visitors safe.
Buongiorno ragazzi, buongiorno. Buongiorno.
Giuseppe Moschita is Vice Commissioner of the Rome Police, and his department is on high terror alert. Any single one of the predicted million visitors might be a threat to the Pope. With hours to go, a potential bomb threat has been identified.
È certo che per le 19 devono finire, perché poi alle 19 chiudiamo l'area.
Quindi per le 19 già tutta l'area deve essere bonificata dalle 19?
Sì, sempre 19, poi 19 anche la notte, la mattina, fino a... Continuo, almeno fino alle 13.
Sì.
Buongiorno ragazzi, buongiorno. Buongiorno. Buongiorno.
Just outside the Vatican walls, Vice Commissioner Giuseppe Moschita meets his team.
Buongiorno. Buongiorno. Allora.
Moschita's first job is to rendezvous with a crack team of sharpshooting snipers to scout for the perfect position to cover the canonization. The sniper team needs a clear view of St. Peter's Square and the surrounding rooftops. On top of this hotel could be an ideal spot. But first, they need to identify where assassins might hide and check if those places are in range of their weapons.
Mirko, mi misuri un attimo il propileo, per favore? Quant'è?
160.
160.
Dove è sopra, dove è il terrazzo della traspontina? Commiseriamo 210. Ed è un'ottima posizione in quanto abbiamo una visuale ampia su via della Conciliazione, quindi su eventuali pericoli che potrebbero venire dalla parte opposta, dalle finestre opposte della piazza.
Della via della Conciliazione, benissimo.
While the Rome police are in charge of public security, inside the Vatican walls, the Pope has his own elite private army, the Swiss Guard. They have sworn to give their lives to protect the Holy Father. Historically, the Swiss Guard were mercenaries, trained as a human shield.
We're inside the barracks of the Swiss Guard, inside the Vatican City, composed in different buildings. So actually the Swiss Guards are 110 men strong.
Their traditional uniform is still made to measure by hand.
È molto complicato perché la divisa è formata da 154 pezzi.
But these uniforms are for ceremonial purposes only. Most of their work is plainclothes close protection of the Pope. The Swiss Guard armory is full of weapons, but they are also mostly for ceremonial purposes. As the Pope's personal bodyguards, they are trained in deadly hand-to-hand combat.
Training is security by hand, so the very close protection to fix enemy, to block.
In 1527, 147 guardsmen died, shielding Pope Clement VII from invaders who had breached the Vatican defenses. To this day, they take such threats just as seriously.
We have to avoid an attack to the Holy Father in a collaboration with Vatican forces and the Italian forces too.
With the clock ticking, Vice Commissioner Mosquita is forced to call in reinforcements.
Capo squadra, ci stanno sti 3-4 lì. Allora signori, indietro.
Signori, dovete camminare, camminare. Go out, go out, go out.
Sorry, but it's not possible to stay here. Thank you. Thank you.
Prego, prego, prego.
It's not possible to stay here. It's not possible to stay here. It's not possible to stay here. That way. It's not possible. I'm sorry, but it's not possible.
What the crowd doesn't know is that the danger could lie just beneath them. Giovanni Petrocci has one of the most dangerous jobs on the Rome police force. The miles of passageways beneath the square would provide ideal cover for terrorists. He has no protective body armor and little idea what he might encounter. Many of the tunnels beneath St. Peter's Square and Basilica date back over 2,000 years to Roman times. After the formation of the church, they became a subterranean necropolis, holding the dead remains of early Christians and even the bones of St. Peter himself.
Vediamo che non ci sia nulla posizionato o che non ci sia qualcosa che possa ricondurre a qualche esplosivo. Vedi un po' questa bottiglia un attimo qui sotto.
There is evidence of human activity.
C'è qualcosa dentro, riesci? No, vabbè.
Above ground, the square is now clear, and the sniffer dogs are on the hunt for traces of explosives.
Sì, però...
Suspicion quickly falls on a truck parked by the colonnades. But the dog turns up nothing. The square is clear of bombs, above ground at least. Eventually, the passages are given the all clear. And the police team weld the entrances shut to prevent terrorist access. "167 feet up on the roof of St. Peter's Basilica."
Eccoci qua.
Andrea Benedetti, head of the Basilica's building workers, is on a final security check for possible intruders in this secret maintenance tunnel.
Sulla destra possiamo vedere il tetto della cappella del coro.
Discovery's cameras are the first to have ever been allowed here. There are views of this iconic church that the tourists never get to see.
Adesso stiamo vivendo la preparazione alla canonizzazione in modo particolare, perché gran parte dei San Pietrini, tutti, abbiamo avuto l'onore di conoscere Santo Giovanni Paolo II. Ero appena entrato, era il 1995, stiamo percorrendo i primi 6 mesi, ero di servizio qui alla porta che siamo all'accesso in Basilica. E quando eravamo di servizio io e il mio collega, Giovanni Paolo II praticamente entrava per la prima messa del Natale e quindi abbiamo avuto l'onore di essere autorizzati, ci ha salutato e la prima cosa che mi ha detto quando io sono andato a salutare il Papa, lui mi ha detto grazie. Immaginate l'emozione di...
Downstairs, there is still one more job for Andrea and his men. They have to change the inscription on John Paul II's tomb to Sanctus, Latin for saint.
Faccio il segnetto laterale. Piano, Ci sei, Mauri? Aspetta qui. Ci sei, Ok, tenetela,
500 years ago, the skilled building workers of St. Peter's began construction of this vast church, using materials from the ruins of ancient Rome. The basilica took 120 years to build, but alterations have been ongoing ever since. With pegs in and glue setting, the Vatican building workers pray to the saint-to-be.
San Giovanni Paolo II, prega per noi. Per intercessione di San Giovanni Paolo, vi benedica e vi protegga Dio Onnipotente, Padre e Figlio e Spirito Santo. Amen.
Much can go wrong tomorrow, but tonight, the cardinals of the Vatican are praying to God that it won't. Today, Popes John XXIII and John Paul II will become saints, superheroes of the Catholic Church, acknowledged for their virtuous lives and unexplainable miracles. Police helicopters take to the skies to monitor the huge crowds. 1 million pilgrims have waited all night, crammed into St. Peter's Square. With international heads of state in attendance, the Gendarmeria head up a huge security operation, and snipers from the Rome police take up positions.
Le componenti, una grande quantità di persone, la piazza è già praticamente piena dalle prime luci dell'alba e da un paio d'ore è anche già piena via della Conciliazione e i varchi sono stati chiusi attorno alle 8:30 mi pare, vero?
Sì. Adesso aspettiamo l'evento vero e proprio.
Perfetto, ricevuto.
Millions are in Rome for the ceremony. Over 1 billion more will be watching live on TV as it transmits around the world on 9 satellites in ultra-high definition and 3D.
Per ora è tutto prosegue bene, appunto adesso speriamo che tutto funzioni, che le camere funzionino, che i satelliti siano a posto e questo dobbiamo chiedere, come abbiamo già fatto, un aiuto allo Spirito Santo.
CTV, Vatican State Television, is the sole broadcaster, tightly controlling the public face of the Church beamed around the world. Above the colonnaded arms of St. Peter's Square is the exclusive press gantry.
Mandiamo questa messa, la prima volta al mondo, una messa papale e una messa di questa importanza in 3 dimensioni sul canale Sky 3D.
Sì, assolutamente sì. Intanto vorrei farti vedere che abbiamo fatto fare un paio di occhialini in 3D per il Papa che gli regaleremo successivamente.
1,000 bishops from all over the world are here. 150 cardinals, the highest-ranking men in the Vatican. 19 heads of state and 24 heads of government, from Spain to Honduras, from Ireland to the Ukraine and Cameroon. Millions wait for the arrival of one man, Pope Francis. From a secret security room deep inside the Vatican, the Gendarmeria tracked the Pope's progress. This is where he is at his most vulnerable.
Dalla 112 per tutti, il Santo Padre in movimento.
112 copiato.
For the next 3 minutes, all movement in Vatican City is banned as the Pope makes his way to St. Peter's Basilica to lead the ceremony.
Questo è un momento di fiato sospeso per tutta la cristianità e anche per noi.
Pope John XXIII served between 1958 and 1963.
Giovanni XXIII era consapevole che la Chiesa ha bisogno di riformarsi continuamente.
John Paul II served as Pope for 26 years.
Per promuovere l'uomo, per difendere i suoi diritti fondamentali, per aiutare l'uomo a raggiungere alle sue aspirazioni legittime e che non sia tolto all'uomo i diritti fondamentali, irrinunciabili, naturali.
At last, the crowd can finally see who they've been waiting for, Pope Francis. As the canonization begins, Monsignor Dario Vigano looks nervously on, his TV signal beamed to millions around the world. Living miracle Floribeth Mora Diaz approaches. She prayed to John Paul II to cure the brain aneurysm doctors said would kill her. She carries a vial of John Paul's blood the holy relic of the saint-to-be. She presents the vial of blood to the Pope. He must bless it with a kiss. This relic, for Catholics, is a symbol of John Paul II's eternal existence. Pope Francis reads the sacred formula of canonization.
Ad deplorimorum fratum mortorum consilio, beatos Ioannem vicesimum tertium, et Ioannem Paulum secundum, sanctos in nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
With these ancient words, two new saints are officially proclaimed. John Paul II's blood and a fragment of John XXIII's skin will be worshipped for thousands of years to come. The new saints are called upon in heaven to influence events on earth.
天父借着圣若望23世的转导，求你终止仇恨和暴力的恶性循环。
Par l'intercession de Saint Jean-Paul II, suscite toujours la passion pour la dignité de l'homme.
Lì l'emozione è stata proprio forte, è difficile descriverla. È un'emozione, è un brivido che percorre il corpo perché è questo, quindi oggi ecco vedere lì è la cosa più bella.
Vengono un po' i brividi perché noi pensiamo che i santi sono quelli che non vivono sulla terra, che sono da parte o che non vivono la vita normale, ma lui ha vissuto una vita normale, era vescovo di Roma, era il Papa, era vescovo di Cracovia, era sacerdote, che adesso è ufficialmente santo.
Penso che un po' piangerò di gioia, non di tristezza, perché è una cosa incredibile per me. Uomo con cui ho vissuto tanti anni, adesso lo chiamo santo.